All right, let's freaking go. House is empty. Got my pad thai. Episode 9. Episode 8 was a flashback to Vash's childhood and the time he spent with the people of Ship 3. And while it provided answers, it left me with a lot of questions and left me kind of puzzled about the timeline. So maybe next episode we'll clear things up, or maybe we'll just get on with the plot. All right, episode 9. The piano. Oh, that's an organ. That's huge. He's been doing this since he was a kid. Me too, dude. That is so sad. Okay, wait, me and my sister would get in such big fights when we had to play duets together because it's so hard, especially as an elementary schooler, trying to match their tempo and keep your own and play your part without making mistakes. It's hard. It's really hard. But nothing beats the feeling of just nailing that duet. I would play the Vash part. I would normally play the low, the bass parts of our duets because I have bigger hands and a really strong playing style. And then my sister was a little more, I guess, agile. So she would play the upper keys. This is my older sister, by the way. I might have misled you. I am not the oldest sibling. I'm the second of 6. My older sister, she's been on this channel. If you've seen our AOT videos, that's her. So it sounds to me like the duet that Vash and Nai were playing, Nai was trying to play his part, but Vash's bass part was too much and too loud, and it was overtaking the graceful melody that Nai was trying to play. But then Vash gives Nai his little solo bit, and then it cuts to Nai alone playing a solo arrangement of that duet, which completely recontextualizes Vash's freak out in episode 3 when he hears Nai playing the piano. I can't imagine what Vash must have felt hearing that song again, Nai using it as an intimidation tactic. Well, already off to such a good start. Yeah, that is the doctor when he was young. I'm just in awe of Nai. He has so much gravitas, even as a gangly teenager. I freaking love this show. I don't know if this says anything, because I don't know if the music that I got is the official score, or if it was just somebody on Muse Score that wrote it down by ear. But I have sheet music for Nai's piano solo, and there's one part at the end that is impossible to play with 2 hands. You need at least a 3rd hand. So if that's not the official music and there is a 2-handed arrangement, this doesn't matter. But if that is the official music, that makes me crazy, because even when Nai tries to cut down the song to be played by one person, he can't fully do it. There's still a little seed, pun not intended, pun maybe intended, I don't know, but there's still a little seed in that song of Vash that he can't get rid of. Okay, this is where Vash walks in. So they use their gates, the higher dimensions, they use their gates to produce stuff. Oh, that's so sad. Is it like the lemon trees? There's this phenomenon that happens with citrus trees where when they think they're about to die, they just put everything into like a super bloom of flowers to produce lemons, and they just go crazy in order to keep their species alive. They just overload on lemon production, and then there's just lemons everywhere and they're falling to the ground. And I don't know what a last run is, but I like to imagine it's just an overloaded swan song to try and leave something behind before the plants die. That's grotesque. But I might be right about the lemon trees. Man, how bad that must hurt for Nai to watch his own people, himself, basically, consumed like that. You think he let the plants die?
これが人間の本性だ。こいつらは人間のために生まれてきたんだ。役に立てたことを喜んでるさ。早くしろ。やめろ。その子に触るな。お前らには聞こえなかったのか。彼女たちの断末魔が。
There's a metaphor here. No wonder Nai just lets the doctor do whatever he wants, because the doctor was maybe one of the only people that treated Nai like a person. Such different paths. It was rough for Vash at the beginning, but he was eventually treated well by the people that he found. I guess Nai wasn't so lucky. It's Nai's favorite pastime. Cutting off people. Oh, is Vash? This is where Vash is going to lose his arm. I kind of forgot that we still had to see that happen. Episode 9, Millions Knives. But it seems to me like Nai had already started hating his brother and was just looking for an excuse to further justify that. He'd already made up in his mind that Vash had heard the plants dying and chose to just let them die. Not that he had outright hated him from the beginning, but there was already a resentment growing there. I don't know why. Yet.
レムが命と引き換えに助けた人たちだぞ。
そうさ。あの女が余計なことをしなけりゃ、プラント戦以外すべて瓦礫になるはずだったんだ。バッシュ、俺と一緒に楽園を作ろう。
プラントは人間に管理されなきゃ生きていけない。レムも言ってただろ。
いくらつけ心地が良くても首輪は首輪だ。だが俺たちは違う。意志を持ち、自由に歩く。これこそが力だ。生きていくためには。
Maybe they did have to use the plants to survive, but there were more ethical ways of doing it.
遠くから指先一つでたやすく命を
Sinners.
人間が大好きなお前に
He gave him the gun.
力は彼女たちにこそ与えなければ。
何を企んでる。
バッシュ。
ルイだ。
どうして。
He's not gonna kill her too, is he?
一緒に帰ろう。
No more fridged moms. No more fridged mother figures.
手始めにあいつを殺せ。
みんな待ってる。バッシュ。
どうした？早くやれ。お前は俺がいなきゃ何にもできないな。
最後までずっとレムに守られてばかりだった。だからもうこれ以上お前に大事な人を奪わせない。バーシュ。
魔女め。
Oh, fury in his eyes is chilling. Boy got a black hole in his elbow. Who would have thought? You armed him. You gave him that weapon. I'm surprised he let them go. I had kind of figured that Nai was the reason that Vash lost his arm. I could not have guessed that it was an act of help or mercy on Nai's part. at least at this point in time, Nye still loves his brother so much. I don't know how much of that is left after all these years, but I think maybe he let them go because he didn't want to hurt Vash anymore. Hey, it's Brad. So how long has it been? I love the motion capture that they use for this. It's just subtle movements, body language. It's so good.
おかえりなさい。ただいま。無事だよ。サンドスチームも個人も。
Thank God. Yeah, you're friends. Who did you think they were? I see that blush, Wolfwood. You're not fooling me.
お二人はバッシュさんとは長い付き合いなんですか？
Oh, they're like old. I was thinking our timeline was like 50 years. 150 years. Okay, so they've been in cryo. That's why Vash was wearing that little parka in the very first scene of the very first episode. Because he was talking to everybody that was in cryostasis. Interested in eternal life, Mr. Undertaker?
科学の力を借りてはいるけど、見せたいものがあるの。
She's never seen a flower before.
光合成をしながら仲間を増やす。人間でもワムズでもない生き物。
By the way, I did see those worms converging on the ship. I recognize what's about to happen. Let me have this, just for a couple minutes.
植物には水だけじゃなく、栄養素
You can eat them.
含まれている。
Imagine eating plants.
これさえあれば。
このドームを維持しているのはプラントのはずだ。それも1台や2台じゃない。
でもこれでプラントの負担を減らすことはできる。長い目で見ればこの星
Terraforming, like in Dune. All sci-fi is Dune. Yeah? The time will pass anyway.
私は正しい道筋を進みたい。生きるためだからといって間違ったことはしたくないの。
バッシュみたいなこと言ってやがる。
Well, you learned a lot from her. There's such a temptation to justify whatever it is you have to do because I just had to do it to survive. But what if we didn't think that way? What if we tried to survive as ethically as possible? Yeah, it's harder. Yeah, it's not guaranteed to work out. But listen to me. What if it does? What are they smoking if they don't have plants?
なんだ。
船内は禁煙よ。
It did look like Nico and Livio were smoking an insect leg or something. Gotta go outside for that, buddy.
そんなの自分で。
Her little.
今私のことメリルって言いませんでした。初めてメリルって
Oh yeah, he didn't call her newbie.
言いました。
So the atmosphere of this planet is potentially toxic to plants, but having plants with a capital P, having plants, having flowers, greenery, foliage, helps take the load off the plants. Eventually, that will become self-sustaining. And these guys have the time and the resources to really start putting that together. Like, Nye is absolutely not wrong in wanting to be free of slavery. And all along, there are these people that would have been willing to help him with that, to find a way for the plants and people to live in a symbiosis. But he either can't see that or doesn't want to see that because he thinks that all humans are worthless. Probably Nye's resentment for Vash started because Vash was so human-like. Yeah, let's chat.
まさかお前ミリオンズ内物と仲直りできるとか思ってないやろな。
He has to try. Again. So he has killed someone. Unless he's just talking about the people that he indirectly killed or was involved in their deaths when Nye crashed the ships. Yeah. And even if it doesn't work, somebody has to try.
またそんな綺麗事。
Because if you just give yourself over to the violence, to the black and white thinking, nothing will ever change.
昔の俺みたいだな。
あ
バッシュに噛みついて、
Yeah.
何もかも白黒はっきりつけられると思ってる。
言うてくれるやないか、じじい。
バッシュは強えぞ。一緒にいれば。
Yeah, he wouldn't have made it this far if he wasn't tough.
ルイーダ
ワムズの群れが
Yeah,
見て
I knew it was coming.
ザジア、間違いない。
They took Meryl and Roberto.
ここだここは喫煙所だった
Oh no.
なわけないでしょ。七星3番目の町へようこそ。
They're in July?
ここはジュライ。墜落したプラント船さ。
ナイブスの差し金か
もっと面白い話しようよ。君たちがノーマンズランドと呼んでいるこの星は今分かれ道に来てるんだ。僕らワムズが共に生きるべきは人間か。
Oh, Zazie the Beast is a little... Oh, geez. Potential third parties. Interesting. I like that.
なぜお前がそんな大層なことをジャッジする
ここが僕らの星だからさ。
Yeah, the worms are native.
君たちが来るずっと昔から。
Wolf was fighting for his life to stay on that animal back there.
君たち人間はかつて暮らしてた地球って星を壊
Oh,
し
so they are from Earth.
だから移民船に乗ってこの星までやってきた。地球はもともと資源にあふれた豊かな星だった。
This puts everything in a completely
人
different...
間以外にもたくさんの生物があふれていた。
This is us.
君たちはそれを何もかも食い尽くした。
嘘ですわ。そんなの。
移民船はどうして墜落したんだと思う？あの双子の仕業さ。
双子？
んなヨタ話
それはバッシュさんのことですか？150年前の墜落事故からずっと何を？
プラントにしてみれば。
The question is, though, is Zazie doing this of their own accord? Like, are the worms truly a third party that is trying to pick a side in this war? Or is this all just some bigger plan with Nai? It'd be much more interesting if there was actually a third side, but I'm more inclined to think this is just talk. It's all the dying plants.
ナイブスがあちこちから取ってきたんだよ。あ、見つかっちゃった。
なぜ連れてきた
Okay, so they are
君の
acting
指図は受けない。
not under orders.
ナイブスも僕を客人として迎えてたはずだ。この星のためになるのは人間、それともプラント？
Both. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not an either or.
どっちだと思う？
It's kind of a different style than the rest of the artworks. That's nice. I got everything I wanted. I got progression of the main plot. I got flashback. I got... What was the other thing I wanted? Some answers. Some godforsaken answers on this godforsaken planet. And also confirmed that the Christian imagery is not just imagery. But since these people are from Earth, that means there's real Christianity in Trigun. Trigun has become Catholic. Oh man. I have so much empathy for Nai after this episode. And it's probably just because I see a lot of myself and I see various aspects of my various sibling relationships in Vash and Nai's conflict. I mean, obviously me and my siblings don't have black holes in our elbows and knives that come out of our hands and feet, but we've had our conflicts. We have our fights. We have ideological disputes, but there's nothing that could change the love that I have for my siblings. They could do the worst things possible, turn into the worst people imaginable, and I wouldn't be okay with that, and it would break my heart, but I could never stop loving them. I could never give up on them. Unfortunately, I see a lot of myself in Nai. His jealousy for his brother. I've been there with my sister. And I had to grow up a little bit. You know, that's my selfishness talking. As much as it's the love that I have talking, it's also the selfishness. And I can't let love turn into selfishness because then it becomes something just so evil and grotesque. Because then it's about what I want and not the unconditional sacrifice for the other person that love should be. Yeah, maybe it was stupid of me to feel that way, but it was important that I acknowledged those feelings and wrestled through them and allowed myself to feel them and then deal with them appropriately. I need to shut up. You guys do not need to know all this about me. We'll see how much of this makes it into the final edit. What is this, therapy? 100 years apart, we have Vash's love for Nye still holding fast. He's still not willing to give up on his brother, and we have Nye's love for Vash just festering into something unrecognizable. But I truly do believe he loves his brother. Nye wants Vash to be someone that is easy for him to love. Nye wants Vash to think the same way he does, to be like him, to remake Vash into the brother that Nye wants. Vash, I think, he wants to help Nye, he wants to change Nye, but he doesn't want to remake him into something new. Sure, there's better brothers, but Nye's the only one who's Vash's brother. So what do we learn today? Love your brother selflessly. Sometimes an idea might seem a little bit ridiculous, but if we don't test those things out, nothing is ever going to change. This is too much for me. I've been recording for well over an hour. I'm gonna have a nightmare in the edit. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for being a little too real with this one. See you later. Peace and love on planet Earth.